Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. We have increasing clouds that will continue to pick up across the DMV going into tonight, but a southerly flow allowing temperatures back in the 50s for your Tuesday, but we're now tracking showers throughout the rest of the week. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
It starts with leadership. Somebody has to be held accountable.
Tonight, a woman who says she lost her father because of mistakes at DC's 911 dispatch is pushing for change from top. Why she's relieved to hear about a last-minute announcement from the mayor's office.
Plus, a shocking report unsealed showing how sexual assaults were handled at one Virginia school district. We are breaking down the investigation out of Loudoun County.
Long time coming. We've been very patient, I must say.
Plus, more Metro trains on the tracks. Why WMATA's newest move will make Red Line riders happy during rush hour.
Good Monday evening, and thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Thasmeen Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Our top story tonight, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser walks back her top pick to lead the city's 911 call center. The last-minute move comes a day before City Council is set to vote on new leadership. Until today, Bowser had publicly supported acting director Karima Holmes for the permanent position. Holmes has faced scrutiny for months now over long-reported issues, including inaccurate and delayed 911 dispatches. Some of those mistakes led to deaths.
Yeah, reporter Marielle Carbone joining us live in the studio tonight. And Marielle, you spoke to a woman whose father died after possible mistakes at that 911 center.
And she told you she's relieved Holmes won't get the permanent director position.
Yeah, that's right. She tells me she feels like her advocacy has paid off. She has been pushing for change and transparency since her father died here in Washington, D.C. back in March. She calls this decision by the mayor a first step in moving forward.
He loved to sing, he loved his children, and he loved his family.
Every day since March 14th, it's been difficult for Aja Griffin and her family.
We still don't have all the answers.
Aja's father, David Griffin, died that day. He drowned in the Washington Channel after alleged mistakes at DC's 911 call center led to a delay in police response. Griffin was having a mental health crisis. Aja believes his death could have been prevented.
Each step of that call was handled inappropriately. The end result ended in him being in the water.
She's pushed for change ever since.
It starts with leadership. Somebody has to be held accountable.
So she's relieved to hear acting OUC director Karima Holmes is no longer in the running for permanent director.
It's such a relief. She kept saying that there's transparency when it comes to OUC, and I have not seen that. Right? So she lacks the ability to hold herself accountable. So how can we believe that you're holding the staff who's actually taking the calls, holding them accountable as well?
Less than 12 hours before a contentious council hearing to consider Holmes for the job, Mayor Muriel Bowser pulled her. Writing in a statement, "We are incredibly grateful for Director Karima Holmes' leadership at the Office of Unified Communications. It is with regret that we are withdrawing her nomination." Earlier in the day, Holmes spoke to DC News Now defending her work and credentials.
All our calls where we make mistakes, we take them serious. Our call takers take them serious, not just administration, not management.
These are people's lives.
Aja doesn't buy it and is hopeful for more changes.
It doesn't stop with just changing leadership. There are so many layers.
And the mayor says Holmes will continue serving for the next 60 days while the district conducts a nationwide search. And Chris and Thasmeen, as for a new director, Aja tells me she hopes that person can lay out a good plan, set some goals, and acknowledge the mistakes that have been made in the past. In the studio, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. We had a chance to sit down with Karima Holmes before Mayor Bowser announced she was taking back her nomination. Our Leonard N. Fleming has that full report coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, it's Monday and time to get a first check on the forecast. And hey, guess what? Get ready for a long stretch of rain.
That's right. Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb is here. And Janessa, we may not see the sun for nearly a week or so.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you're going to have to figure out some way to make your mood better because the increase in clouds, they are not going to budge across the district for about 5 solid days. Now, the rain, it's not super impressive, but it's definitely noticeable. And that starts to pick up after sunrise tomorrow. So the increase in clouds clouds already starting to flow in just south of 81 across Spotsylvania into Culpeper, Luray as well. You're starting to know partly cloudy skies. The rest of us actually clear skies, and that's going to continue for a few more hours. So really, the talker is, look at our temperatures, partly cloudy, 41 degrees. This is really as low as that we are going to get for tonight. We're going to see a few spots upper 30s, and then we're going to be on the incline because we have a southerly flow. Our winds are going to start to whip up out of the south, and that's going to push our temperatures near the 50s as we go into tomorrow morning. Look at this big batch of rain. We have multiple storm systems that we're really going to continue to watch from coast to coast, but this one will provide that cold front well to our north, and then the wet weather from Alabama, Mississippi, all the way into Georgia at this point. Right now, it won't be an equal opportunity for everyone to see widespread rain, but definitely going to be noticeable for your Tuesday. Mostly cloudy for tonight. Look at these lows. They're really not too bad on the mild side, but really the talker is how much rain and in what locations will we see a good amount of rain for the next few days. We'll look at that forecast coming up.
Vanessa, thank you. So Metro riders on the Red Line should have spent a little less time waiting for trains today, getting to and from work. Now, WMATA increased frequency by 2 minutes during rush hour. And DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg spent the evening rush talking with commuters. He joins us live from Woodley Park, Adams Morgan Station. And Daniel, this is supposed to help with crowding issues.
Chris and Tasmin, Metro is seeing increased ridership, which is leading to a lot of crowding on trains and platforms. But even tonight with added service, we saw pretty packed trains. Getting to and from work on Metro can be a hassle with crowding.
To the point where, people actually have to wait to get on the other train because the train they're on or trying to get on currently is too full.
But now there's a little relief for riders. The Red Line started running every 8 minutes instead of every 10 on Monday.
There's definitely been a lot of times I've been like 1 minute late to the Metro. It's kind of a day ruiner, so every 8 is better than nothing. I'll take it.
The new schedule is for rush hour. That means from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
It'll be less crowded, less chance to spread the virus.
Riders say 2 minutes can make a big difference.
I like the additional trains that they're adding so it won't be so crowded at certain stops. So that helps get rid of my anxiety.
Metro says it was able to make the change because more 7000 series rail cars are back on the tracks after last year's derailment.
It was a long time coming. We've been very patient, I must say.
Metro also says you can expect more gradual service improvements this winter and into the spring, but they're still affected by industry-wide shortages of rail and bus operators.
I think they're doing a pretty good job, but don't scare me with lack of operators.
Other than peak hours, Red Line trains will run every 10 minutes except during scheduled track work. That's another concern for riders.
I do hope they finish the work on weekends because we do travel on weekends, and the huge disruptions with the construction on weekends has been a real problem.
Now, Green Line trains are also running every 8 minutes, while trains on the orange, blue, and silver lines are running every 15. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, coming up, 2 Western Maryland communities mourning tonight after a young fire chief died after an early morning crash. Now he's being remembered. You're watching DC News Now at 9, covering the news where you live, from the nation's capital to West Virginia. We'll be right back.